This conference will now be recorded.
Call meeting order. Bruce, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Who's our, oh yeah, we should do that right away.
Secretary.
Do we have any motions to appoint a secretary?
So moved.
Travis Ewing or TJ Ewing.
Second, third.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Mr. Secretary. The minutes from the July 2nd, 2026 meeting. Was there any additions or corrections?
Move to approve.
Okay,
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, and the agenda, everything good there?
Yep, no changes.
Approve.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries. And conflicts of interest.
None here.
None here. Okay, good there. What is this?
Bruce, do you want to explain the first part? So this is a state law. I do have it in your guys' packets too, and I have it up here. Commissioners saw this last Tuesday, right?
Thursday.
Thursday. So the commissioners have already officially appointed me to accept the change of zoning applications because state law changed in July that said the auditor's office has to accept them, or it can be appointed. And so basically July 1st, we updated what we could, that we just had the email go to the auditor's office because we didn't know what else to do to meet the law. And then until we could get this done. So is that a quick and dirty way of it? This is the new law. It's 11/2/2082.
I think there was a county, East River, I think was having a problem with who was getting change of zoning applications. So I think it's a one-off situation that now is the solution involves everybody. And so the auditor always gets the change of zoning applications now. Then it's a matter of how they get communicated to the planning and zoning board and how they get communicated to the county commission and designate Amber to do that in both cases.
So the commission's already taken action on that and we don't need to know anything, but
You need to
we
do
just
your
need to know
part.
about it.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Basically keeping everything the way it is now, but getting the law back to where we're,
Well, the law is still
Compliant.
in effect. It's just, it says that or person designated. So the county commission designated me to still accept the applications. And then it also says that you guys should too, just to be safe. So you know, I'll get the application and then we'll still go through the same process we always
You
have.
won't notice any difference.
Yeah.
That's the way it always worked before.
Just
correct?
another state issue that counties have to clean up.
And just for clarification, we appointed the planning and zoning director. not
Okay.
That way it doesn't matter who's there. You don't have to change it.
Yeah.
Is that in perpetuity forever or do you have to do that once a year? Or?
I think that's perpetuity.
Yeah, I think unless you
Unless
Unless the law changes.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
it's a
Anybody
housekeeping
have
thing.
any other questions about that before we or acknowledge it, I guess is really all we're doing. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Amber.
Oh, thank you. To do what I've always done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, and item number 2, informational meeting for change of zoning number 374 for David Winter.
Okay, and David is here. I'll give kind of a quick rundown of it. But if you have specific questions, he's here. You guys did see this as kind of a layout plan. It took him a little while to kind of get the rest of it together. Brad Limbo was planning on being here.
Planning on coming.
Is he still
If
gonna?
we can jump down a road, that would be great. That's fine.
I guess it's an informational, if we wanted to wait, because Brad he had guard stuff come up, so he was trying to fit it in, but he didn't know if he could. I think it would be beneficial if maybe we can wait for him. So if you guys are okay with it, we can do the variances and then go back to it.
do we need a motion on
Should
that?
we-
Nope.
let's just move that to the point when Brad gets here, and then after he's here, I'll stick it in somewhere.
That's fine.
Sound good? Okay. All right, item number 3, recommendation meeting for variance number 224 for Dennis and Lynn Thomas.
Okay, grab the wrong one. Hold on, this one. Okay, so Dennis and Lynn Thomas, some of you probably, Rick, you probably remember these guys, but the rest of you guys maybe not. So this was a cabin in Spearfish Canyon. It used to be the little A-frame. If you remember the little A-frame, it got torn down, it's probably been 10 years ago or more.
Next to it.
I would bet. Dennis and Lynn Thomas purchased that lot many, many years ago. It's in the floodplain. The house was pretty well damaged. It needed lots of upgrades. So they decided to pull it down, but they left the foundation. And then they had gotten approval with a variance and some other stuff to rebuild kind of in the same location, but they had to do some stuff to make that doable. So they've started working on it again, but as part of that process, there was a detached old garage that also sat out there, and it's very dilapidated. They have to do something with it. So as part of that process, they came forward, they said, okay, we're ready to finally do something with the original stuff. Oh yeah, by the way, the structure's falling down. We need to either shore it up, or can we go ahead and fix it, like actually fix it, and also do an addition onto it. Well, as we were going through that process, we determined that the old garage structure was never included in the original variance or the floodplain stuff that we did for the house. They just didn't think about it at the time. So they had to go back through the process. They did all the floodplain work. We've been working with them on a building permit. And when it came down to it, what we usually require, if they do any sort of an addition to a structure that is already not meeting setback, they have to bring it into compliance by getting a variance. So it's an existing structure. It's always sat there. They're adding on to the other side of it. So they're not going more into it than what was already there. But because of that, it forces them into the variance process. So what they're doing is requesting a 9.2 foot variance to the front setback requirement of 25 feet. It's a 6.9 foot variance to the side setback requirement of 10 feet and a 2.9 variance to the rear setback of 10 feet. Keep in mind, this is one of those old Forest Service, or not for homestake lots that, you know, they gave to somebody with this building on it. So that's kind of where that's at. You can see 2026, we did a residential addition. It was determined at that time they would have to split the detached garage off onto its own building permit because we found out the problems with the floodplain and everything. So that's why we separated the two. I kind of went through all of that. It's an existing grandfathered structure. It's out of compliance, and the variance would not be changing any of the existing front and side setback. Does that make sense to everybody? It's an existing structure. It's been there. We're bringing it in compliance with the variance, but at the same time, they're also doing an addition.
Can you scroll up to that map
Mm-hmm.
or the,
This is the lot.
this
one right here. Oh, okay, let's go. I gotta open that.
Would they need a variance if they built in the same footprint?
No.
Yes, they would.
Yes,
They
We
would.
still require, because
That's what I
they have to bring it into compliance if they're doing construction to it.
The puzzling thing is
So-
that the structure was there before Homestake went around and sold these lots to everybody. And they platted them after the fact or during this process to get rid of them. And so Homestake could have platted a few more feet and they would have been okay, but they didn't.
So if they build onto it, they're going up in here where it
Nope.
doesn't make a difference, or they're going?
No, we're this structure right here. This is the old garage and the new structure
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
You were looking at the
So they're
house.
going
The
this
house
way or
is-
this way with
Nope,
the addition?
this is the new, this is it. This is the footprint of the new structure.
But they're going away from the setback is what he's asking.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
asking their.
yes, I'm
'cause
sorry.
You said they're building an addition there.
Yes, they're not going closer than what they already are.
Gotcha.
Isn't there some provision if you build on the same existing foundation?
But they're not, because they're doing an addition.
Right.
So they're fixing the
But-
portion on the existing
so the-
foundation, but then they're adding on to it
To
as
the
well.
question though, that if they were just building on the same foundation,
We would still do a variance for it, but that would be part of the staff report.
yeah,
So if they tore all the walls down and
Right.
it were just on the foundation, you would still issue a building permit with a variance
okay.
for the new
But there
structure.
would still have to be a variance.
Yeah, usually we do.
Okay.
Is the difference then that they tore it?
They haven't torn this portion down.
Because you don't need a variance if you go up on the existing footprint, correct?
It depends on what they're doing to it. Yeah, you could.
To get
Depends on if you get
a
caught.
building permit, you gotta bring it within code, and building permit includes refurbishing it.
Yeah, and this was one of those things because it's in the floodplain, then I have to look at the 50% rule. So basically anything, if you're adding to the structure, anything more than 50% of the value, you have to bring it into compliance. And most anything anymore is gonna be more than 50% of the
So they're
value.
out of compliance now. And this makes it even,
No.
it sounds funny, more out of compliance or the same?
It's the same
just-
because they're not moving the existing back lot line.
So the
They're
fact that
adding-
they're expanding the platform doesn't,
Not really.
That's away from the boundary.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there more than, sorry guys,
No, it's okay.
is there more than 50% of this new structure in the floodplain that they're rebuilding?
No,
No, we don't
not
care
really.
about
So if you look at they're actually able to remove most of it by theory of raising it.
But if they went to the left. a
They're
whole
gonna go
nother
more in the floodplain
Building
if they
thing,
move it.
would they be any more in the
Yeah,
floodplain
so
than they
that-
are now?
That
Is what I'm
dotted,
asking.
yes, the hashed area is floodplain. So it's kind of sitting in probably the best place that it could to stay the most out of it. So if you move it further, then you're just more into the floodplain. That's probably why it's sitting where it's sitting, like the existing structure.
Homestake did this to a few people.
So what is the landowner to the north here and to the east?
Well, you got the highway in this side. This is all highway.
What's
This is Elmore on this
This.
side. I don't know who that back one is.
So this is the A-frame right along the highway?
Yeah,
It's no longer an A-frame because they built onto the side.
Correct.
yeah, it was an A-frame and then they had an addition.
It's the old Van Vactor cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. With you.
Dating myself. Quit looking at me.
Well, does anybody have Tom Brady's speech memorized?
Basically, we just provided you, it was a homestake mining lot. They got lot 24. We did have them do full new trust plans, making sure it's all engineered.
Yeah, I kind of question that. I'm, so they're going up though, they're building up.
Here's the addition.
It's
here.
evidently raised up, is what Amber said, I think, right?
Yeah, so they're putting a, second story
There's been
kind of
changes to
a
the
loft.
floodplain.
No, that's gonna be trust storage
Yeah.
up there.
That's
They're
why you're
just doing
seeing all the
20-foot
building
addition
on
on the
surface
main
treatment,
level.
surface
Main
treatment.
level.
They
Yeah,
wanted to
trying to make it so
I
water
think it was
flows
initially
under
they
them
wanted
or
to
something.
Oh, yeah.
space,
they do
They're
the
not gonna do
gates.
living space.
but they're not doing that.
So here's your elevations of the building. Here's your footprint. They're making the existing garage bigger. Using the same walls except for the front,
20 foot.
20 feet. So here's your existing foundation is right here. Here's your new foundation right here. This was all just old to show that it's been in the tax rolls.
Well, I think I'm gonna stick to my normal arguments on these, that this lot's not big enough for this and we have setbacks for a reason. But I'm just gonna vote.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep.
On page 2 of the staff report is the consideration requirements for a variance. If you are gonna approve it, probably you should find that there's some kind of special condition or the absence thereof, right? If that makes a difference for anybody's consideration.
I'm typically not in favor of variances, but it would seem to me that since this building was there before the lot line was established, the lot line went in the wrong spot.
That's a special condition.
It's a special condition, I think, yeah. Nobody built the garage violating the setback.
And they're not in
The
your.
setback came in after the garage was built.
Correct.
Mr. Chair? Eric, would you also say that the variance is not injurious to the neighborhood or detrimental to the public interest or welfare? And that to deny it would create a peculiar or exceptional practical difficulty or undue hardship?
I would say that probably, yep. I wouldn't have used those exact words, but something to that effect.
Can we look at the neighboring property on the backside of that again?
It's Cross Creek.
It's a creek, yeah.
It should be a creek, yeah.
It's just sits between the highway and the creek.
Yeah,
There's one house
I gotta go back,
towards
sorry.
Latch
Down
Street
the hill.
from there.
Creek to be run down here.
The creek is here, the highway's out
This the
front.
highways up here. Yeah.
So this is highway, that's what you're asking.
Yeah, where's
And we're talking about that little corner over there.
This little piece right here.
Yeah,
So the highway comes this way, the creek is here, there's 2 cabins on the other side of Spearfish Creek.
and the neighbors on the other side aren't impacted at all because it doesn't move on this.
They won't even see it because it's like down and up on that piece.
Is there a motion with no second? Is that what-
No, I haven't heard a
I
motion.
haven't heard a
yet.
motion yet.
I was waiting for Eric to clean his up and make it.
Correct, probably not gonna make the motions.
I know, we can deal with it later.
This will require a public hearing in front of the county commission.
This will?
Yes, it always has, and it's not the county commission, it's the board.
Board of Adjustment.
Board of Adjustment.
They hear all.
Oh, yeah, because the
For
very
public
yeah,
hearing,
yeah,
yep.
okay.
It'll
Yeah, okay.
require 2/3 majority, it'll require the super majority.
So this board just makes a recommendation one way or another.
It'll require 4 out of 5 county commissioners to pass. In other words.
any other questions about anything? Motions?
I make a I don't know if I'm gonna say it right. I make a motion that we recommend that the variance go to
The
the
approved
board. Yeah.
Board of Adjustment,
Yeah, to the Board of Adjustment.
based on the
Based
items that
on-
Bruce listed.
Yes. Based on the,
A, B, and C.
yeah,
See,
special conditions, da, da, da.
Yeah.
you got it.
Thank you.
Okay, for a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Aye.
So you have to do a roll call,
Okay, Tisdale,
don't you?
Whalen,
Are you okay? You got it?
Wade, Jennings.
Aye.
Whalen,
Yep,
aye,
I don't know.
Shank, nay.
Everybody
Just
was
Shane.
yeah, I except for Shane.
Okay, motion carries.
We only normally do a roll call if there's somebody online or
Okay.
if it was specifically called for.
That's good practice.
There you go. It's very impressive.
Okay, will you help me remember? We need to get the sign.
Go back to that Tracy, Daddy.
Yeah.
Recycle these.
I can,
I
yes,
don't think they were.
Is this our recycle pile?
sure.
Or are you saving them?
Well, I thought it was, but then I put my agenda in there. I'll stuff my own over here. Okay, we'll go back to item number 2, the informational meeting for David. Winter.
Okay, hold on here.
It's not me, you're not itching.
Brad decided to join us.
Yeah.
You just wanted to get out of your other job, didn't you?
Yeah, actually.
So we kind of started and then he said you were coming, so we waited till you got here. So basically this one is the property that you guys saw before down in Boulder Canyon. It's for a very large planned unit development. It's kind of different and changing what is down there. David had previously done some, residential development down in that area, a number of different lots. Put some roads in, kind of got stuff situated. We issued a conditional use permit on a church. Not quite 2 years ago, probably right around there. And the church is in the process of being built. It has not had a certificate of occupancy yet, but it's already down there and active. As part of that process over the last couple of years, David has come in a number of times. We've talked about his overall grand plan of what he wants to do. And as part of that process, I had suggested, I think with the different uses that he wanted, it would be better instead of just using like the normal zoning, different uses, he'd have to do multiple different changes zonings to make it work with what he wanted. So it was better off to use the planned unit development district because then he could have one lump sum plan for all of the property at one time. And so that's what he has opted to do. He provided that information as a layout plan that you guys saw a while ago. And then this is kind of the more detailed, the master plan portion, what he's planning on doing, how he's planning on going through the process. And that's what you saw in here. And then as part of that, there's a full write-up in here of kind of the narrative and the planning analysis. That's what Brad put together for you guys to review. And then there's the more detailed part of it, which is what David put together, kind of explaining exactly what their overall plan is. I'm going to skip down to the map. So this kind of came up yesterday. It was just sort of missed. So I said I would bring it up. We knew the church was there because obviously we've issued the building permit on it. You guys have already approved the conditional use permit. As part of the phasing map of this whole development, basically the layer showing the parking in the church that was already approved didn't get put on this big map. And so I also added in at the very end, just gotta find it, hold on. There was a lot of items in here. I did add this so you could see it because this is what you guys had approved as part of the conditional use permit. So you could see the layout. And then Brad was at Guards. He couldn't get you the updated bigger map, so he brought some today. So
you have copies where it sits on the.
Yeah, so it's all together, but we kind of did a workaround because I knew he was at Guards and he couldn't get the map updated. So basically that church sits like right here. Yeah, if you want to hand that out. It sits right here. And then the rest of the phases, you can kind of see they broke it into a number of different maps. You have kind of the tiny house area. You have the overall, you can go ahead and have that. I can get it from you. You have the overall areas of single family residential, which that is what the original plan was out there, was just single family residential. So that's nothing really new. The tiny house stuff is different. Actually, this is the cleanest way to, I would prefer this over most people come to me with tiny houses. Well, I just want a bunch of tiny houses on one piece of property. He's actually breaking them into separate lots. So each tiny house would have its own piece of property, which is what this is here. And then you've got the upper area right here, which I would consider kind of being the core kind of commercial slash school slash all the stuff, the extra stuff here that he wrote about in his plan. So the entire kind of colored area that you see is what the change of zoning would incur to the planned unit development. And then each phase of that is broken down into the different phases. So today you are approving, well, you would go through the process that's an informational today. So the next meeting, you would schedule a public hearing, you would have a public hearing, and you would be approving just the change of zoning first. And then as part of that change of zoning, you would have a development agreement and a master plan. Well, obviously he's submitting you the master plan so you can see what the grand scheme of everything is going to be. So that's in here already. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of what it is. Brad, you want to share any more?
Yeah, I can share a little bit. So I guess if we look at it, as you've discussed, there's kind of phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Each one of those phases just kind of separates what the intent is, not necessarily timing. So they could be doing single family residential in that first phase, and they could also start doing some small tiny house lots along the west side there. And then they may be doing some things inside of the ministry area. Dave and his wife are here, they can answer questions about the ministry stuff, but they've been working in ministry their entire lives, it seems like, and significantly over the last 25, 30 years. So they've also been doing this development piece with the vision that this is going to become something that would be an option for, you know, a girls' home or a children's home and some other things that support other ministries. And so the bigger piece of that, what you're looking at on the top right of that screen, there's not really, there's a vision and there's an intent of what they want to do. But that whole structure there is a significant movement piece. And they don't have defined architectural drawings and civil engineering and all of that thing. What we're trying to do is get to the point where they can start saying, yes, this is the direction we're going, and now we can start fundraising and creating income to generate that future vision. So, I mean, as we move forward, residential is not a whole lot different than what it was. The tiny house stuff is going to help support some of the ministry operations. And, you know, as far as detailed design plans, the cost of doing a structure of that size and what it is a significant amount. And so what we're trying to do is get the approval to say, generally, we're going to go in this direction and you're okay with it. And as that piece comes forward, there will be designs and plans and stamps and all of those things will come with it, but it'll be over time. So I don't know if there's anything additional you want me to add, or Dave wants to add anything at this time, or if you guys have any questions.
I guess our intent isn't necessarily just to sell off all these lots. That's not the plan. The plan is that they would help generate funding to be able to continue and sustain the ministry that we are desiring to go there. So again, we're starting with the church and starting to walk into these ministries. And so been working out a long time, and it's a slow process, but we're trying to move forward.
Sure.
So the tiny homes and the residential, the other residential, this is open to the public? Or is this
We're
somehow
maybe-
affiliated with the ministry?
Yeah, we're maybe gonna sell off like 8 of the 2-acre lots out
Uh-huh.
of 16. But then we intend to keep the rest within the ministry to help generate rental income or whatever to continue to move forward.
A lot of that's in your write-up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad, is part of this inside city limits, and how is that gonna work?
No, so everything, so there was a development to the west of this, Buena Vista. There hasn't been a lot of movement on Buena Vista. Buena Vista, I think, was in the city, so the borders city limits. But Buena Vista, they went through a restructure, a replan, and redevelopment, and it's kind of dead in the water, I think, right now, essentially.
Just a tag on there, it says Majestic Height, Majestic Estates on city limits. I just didn't know.
Yeah, so I think at one point there was some discussion that city water was gonna be brought to these slots, and there was kind of this plan, and then the water thing fell through for the other development. And so I think they just kind of were like, okay, so how do we do what we need to do? How do we continue to move forward even though they're not? So, no, it's not in the city. I don't think there's.
We do own 34 acres that is inside city limits, but it's basically that ball mountain. So it's not usable or significant. It's not part of this that we're discussing, no, separate.
And kind of like the stuff up to the north, if you look at that, you know, there's a campground, there's commercial, there's things already kind of adjacent to this property that are already kind of functioning in some manner or some fashion that's not too different than what's already here. It's just different than what would be allowed with the current zones.
So, and the one thing too, I guess I should point out is this, you can see where my cursor is, right along here. This property is mostly zoned commercial already. So there's already highway service commercial property right there. This one right here is the Whiskey Barrel Ranch property, which if you drive down there now, it's a huge building, but they have probably about 15-ish campsites. They've been a CUP for a couple of years. Right over here, this area here was the JCJ campground that burned down. Remember, we permitted it as a CUP and then they had the fire. So it did get burned down. So that front side where they're looking at doing mostly what I would consider semi-commercial use is already kind of a commercial area. The church is sitting right back here on this parcel here that we've already permitted as a conditional use permit. Now back behind here is larger lot residential pieces that have already been sold off to people. So this is other stuff that's already been sold. I think one thing too that I was going to mention that I didn't is many of you that are on the board, David is not new to doing something like this. The old Girl Scout camp, which was Kinship Mountain Ministries, was David's property. So that was developed 2004-ish, I'm guessing. 2004, they took the old campground and now it is an active, business within Lawrence County again. All the cabins have been refurbished, additional cabins built. But David has sold that, how I understand it correct, that they're no longer in that, and then now they're trying to start this one. It's a big project. It's an informational today, but I think really what they were looking for is, you know, any additional concerns that have come up so they know kind of what to look at. I think for my purposes, the biggest thing is it's sometimes kind of hard to remember that this is just the plan. You're not approving individual, how, you know, you're not approving the structures, you're not approving the infrastructure, you're not doing any of that at this point. This is just the change of zoning, so that then they can start coming in with kind of, you know, doing the infrastructure.
Didn't we start this process with Powderhouse Pass? Apple Springs was piecemeal,
Correct.
and then we asked Powderhouse Pass to come in with your master plan, so we know what's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's following kind of that, I wouldn't say newer, but we just don't have a lot of planned unit development zoning districts. We have Powderhouse Pass. Apple Springs is pretty much this, but they still have individual zoning because we didn't have this option when that one was started. Deer Mountain Village is a planned unit development. So those would be kind of the examples of what we have that are following the same procedure. So that's all I have today. If you guys have additional questions though, before they leave or concerns or anything.
Does anybody see anything that they should work on?
I think it's a good plan. A good way to move forward.
All right, change for the public hearing on September 3rd. And is that all we gotta do on that one? Okay,
Just a second. I gotta do stuff. Who gets the paperwork? Is it you or is it Dave? Sign, post it as soon as possible. Paperwork's in here. Make sure it's certified, return and receipt.
Thank you.
White card and green card.
Please.
all right, recommendation meeting for variance number 225 for Sarah Davis.
Did you guys set the hearing?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Perfect.
We didn't do a vote.
I just
Just
didn't
said
say that you said it. So.
Yep.
Okay. This one is, like you said, variance 225 for Sarah Davis. The parcel is 2A located in the southeast quarter, northeast quarter of section 31. Spearfish West, it's in the joint jurisdiction area. She's requesting a 19-foot variance to the 25-foot rear setback. You can kind of see the general location. This is her property here. Here is the Westview subdivision. You kind of know where that is. These lots up here off of MM Court were part of the McGuigan Ranch when they did that development. That's what these are here. I'm actually gonna start with this one.
So is this is for a fence?
This is for a fence.
What? why
I
do we worry
will
about it?
explain. So,
Yeah.
so we'll give you some background. I've been in this office since 2004. I have never issued a building permit on a fence, and I have never had this come up before. It
Never.
is,
I'm sorry, Gina. Did you say you've never issued a building permit or a variance for a fence?
neither.
Okay.
So.
10 seconds, you just took off.
Yep, so with this, we had two, Sarah had called our office, asked if she needed a building permit. We told her no, we've never done a fence one. We knew it was for a wood panel fence, we knew it was for that. She went to the city of Spearfish following procedure. City of Spearfish had, they issued the building permit for the fence because that's under their realm, because they're inside that joint jurisdiction area, so it's under their realm. And then it's a wood panel fence. We don't really have any regulations, whether it's, chain link, wood, it doesn't matter. We just look at the height. We allow 3 stories for any structure. So we wouldn't have even looked at it. And then basically, depending on the height, you do have to have it engineered. So she went and had the fence engineered. The city ended up having her set it back a little bit, and I believe there was an easement of some sort in there, a power line easement or some kind of an easement along that fence line, but they set it back just to be safe. There's a chain link fence also on the neighboring lot. Most of those yards actually have a chain link fence all the way along there, right on the property line. And then I'm not gonna go into the gist of it. I just look at, does the variance require, basically it's 2 neighbors that can't quite see eye to eye on things. There's a write-up in there. I will let you read that. And then ultimately, as part of that, the neighbor called us, was concerned with the fence. We called the city of Spearfish. We said, well, you should probably stop construction on it because yes, the neighbor is right. Our definition of structure does have the word fence in it, even though we've never called it. That's just the way it is. So we went through that process. We would do just like we would with any other structure. If it doesn't meet setback, what is their recourse? Well, they either have to get a variance or tear it down. So we talked to Sarah about that, gave her the option. She said, well, I think I'm gonna go for a variance. That's what she did. She applied for the variance. Did a survey because I did request like where exactly is it sitting? Can you show us? So she had a surveyor go out and show where it's located. We have pictures of it. It is a wood panel fence. We'll get there. So yeah, it's a wood panel fence. Then it's to you guys to decide if this constitutes. In my eyes, I did recommend approval of a variance, which normally I don't. In this scenario, I feel like this is something that warranted an ordinance fix because we have never, in all these years, we've never done it. Sure. So two-part, this is the variance. I think you almost have to act on the variance first because initially the ordinance does say a fence needs a building permit. But that's up to you guys. And then we'll go into it to the next one.
Mr. Chairman? Yep. We went out and looked at this and there are other fences in the neighborhood that would also be non-compliant. And I don't know how one picks one out and not the others. And I was thinking more about this, and I think essentially every agricultural fence in Lawrence County is on a property line, right?
And not engineered.
And not engineered, and our ordinance does not
Half of them are windbreaks that are taller than this.
does not distinguish agricultural fences from property line fences from this or that. So it's a problem that needs to get fixed. Again, I don't know how we would single out one landowner. I think even it looked to me like the complaining party that her fence is likely probably within the setback as well.
Yeah.
So I think I obviously am not a surveyor.
I don't remember if I've ever been in favor of variance before, but I would actually go beyond the normal procedures and as chairman make a motion to approve this variance and emphasize that it's ridiculous.
I will second that.
I don't think the chairman can make a motion.
Can't, or not supposed to?
Can't.
But I would make that motion in chairman's place.
Thank you.
How's that?
I'll still second that.
We have a motion in a second. Here is a picture of the fence. I just took me a minute to find them.
And for all those reasons stated in the staff report, that it's appropriate, right?
Yep.
I'm just curious. So the issue is that the neighbor who's complaining that the fence shouldn't be put up is a two-story looking at, I mean,
we're not gonna get into that.
No, I know.
I don't know,
I'm
I
just
guess.
curious because it
Well,
looks like
here's-
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Here's the image. This is Westview subdivision. There you can see fences all the way along here.
And
Here's
then-
that power line and then the fence
Fence
is
is right
on
there.
the other side.
Okay,
You see
and
if I
so
have
it's
a better-
easy to clean up in between the two fences.
Here's your.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I might be able to
Yeah, go ahead.
add some clarity.
So
So
there's your.
Kelly,
that
can you
picture
introduce yourself?
there,
Can you introduce yourself just
yes,
as a
I'm
record?
sorry. I'm Kellen Willard. I'm an attorney up in Bell. I represent Sarah Davis. And yeah, this is in part issues between neighbors. I would submit to you that good fences make good neighbors. But what you have there, so Sarah's property line is actually to the left in that picture, and this fence, as she's already constructed a good portion of it before this complaint came up, is still between 9 and 10 feet off of the actual boundary line. And there are some utility easements. You can see the power lines overhead there. And so she's trying to have a privacy fence for reasons that we probably don't need to get into, but you know, I think that the complaining party is reading the ordinance in a way that's not in the spirit of the ordinance itself, right? And I think you're all on board with, yeah, we probably need an ordinance change. My client's simply asking for the variance. She's followed all the right steps, getting the permitting, all of that stuff to try and get this fence in. And so we're just asking for you to push a recommendation on this issue to the Board of Adjustment so we can have that public hearing and keep pressing on. My client is here if you have other questions, but hopefully that helps give you a little clarity on what's going on here.
Thank you.
So I'm not 100% fond of it being a variance because I think you should just be able to build a fence. But I think that for right now, to clean this up, we need to do the variance. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, I would suggest it, but then keep in mind that once the ordinance is changed, she wouldn't need the variance anyways.
And that's right behind this.
Is there, if we don't do this in order though, would that create a loophole to come back and say, well, you know, because we didn't approve the variance first before we changed the ordinance?
Bruce, do you have a suggestion?
Well, I don't know. So we need to change the ordinance, correct, right? So technically, arguably at this point, the fence is non-compliant because it doesn't meet or it falls within the definition, right? So the idea is change the ordinance, it solves the problem. The variance may or may not be necessary. But so you could hold that in abeyance, I suppose. But if the neighbor came back in and pointed that out to you and said, hey, at the time the ordinance was in place, the fence was non-compliant, you haven't solved it. You've solved it prospectively, but not backwards, right? So that's why we have the variance in there, is to sort of add kind of the boot and suspenders approach to the thing. I don't know that it matters.
If I may.
Yeah.
So another reason that she would like you to grant the variance is so she can go ahead and finish the fence. She's already got a substantial portion of it done, but she'd like to get it finished, especially before winter.
The city of Spearfish did put a stop work order on it until we figured out what to do.
Right.
And she, as soon as she got it, she stopped doing, I mean, they have not been finishing it or doing anything, so.
I had stopped work 2 weeks before because I'm traveling.
So is the fence just gonna be, is the length of the fence what's pictured on here now, or is it going to extend beyond a lot 7?
It currently is there just to protect my privacy in that.
But are you you said it's not finished. Is it going to be longer?
No.
Or what? It's, okay.
It's just for that.
So the footprint is there basically.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
In fact, for context, maybe too, so we have an older subdivision with smaller sort of residential lots. It now abuts this newer subdivision with much larger lots and much larger homes. So that's what you're seeing there. It looks like there's a big expanse. It's a much bigger lots, right?
Yeah, and there's fences all over.
There's some impressive fences out there. We saw one chain link that's like 8 feet high and it has rolling gates and it's like call boxes. That whole thing, I'm certain, would be non-compliant.
Correct.
And that's like, I don't even know what that costs to put that in.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that just nobody's ever noticed before.
No.
Somebody
Okay,
found a
so-
loophole to waste all of our time. Is what
Yeah,
happened.
we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
These guys can wait this.
Sorry, you're having a problem.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you. All right, you need to put this up on your property, to show that you're going
So-
forward to the Board of Adjustment of the public hearing. Okay. And you can just put it, you know, somewhere along. Like your phone.
Oh, you get to see it.
I've never met it. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Can we put a political sign on it?
Okay.
I think we should try that one next. Jennings for governor. How's that?
And it's like, I call it the Jurassic Park fence. It's like you're trying to keep something in.
The whole reason for setbacks is like, so you don't end up building a house where the road needs to expand to or something like that, but a fence, you can always take a fence out if it's in the way.
And again, it looked like the neighbor complaining had a fence that was probably not compliant as well. So,
Okay, so number 5, informational meeting for ordinance 2603 in Lawrence County.
So this is due to the last discussion. In fact, yes, the ordinance did say, among other things, structures include instead of do not include. It says it includes buildings, mobile homes, walls, fences, billboards, and poster panels. So based on the research that we did, I looked at a number of different agencies across South Dakota that, you know, how do they define a structure? So some of them were 5 paragraphs long. I liked this one the best, and we double checked it for the purpose of these regulations. Fences, earthwork, retaining walls, concrete slabs, and utility poles are not considered structures. The reason for that is we do not issue building permits on any of those things.
And they're all movable if something arises and you need to change.
Yeah, we've never issued a permit on any of those things. And we'd like to keep it that way.
Okay.
And we do get the question a lot about earthwork. Can people do dirt work without a permit? Yes, they can in Lawrence County. So it kind of just makes sense to put it in here.
Chairman, and Amber, as you said, this is consistent with what other jurisdictions have done as well.
Okay. Does anybody have anything they'd like to change in that wording before we start a public hearing?
Thanks for taking care of it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll set the public hearing for September 3rd, 2026. All right.
Thank you.
Number 6, informational meeting for ordinance 2604, Lawrence County.
Okay, so this one is based on what you did at the beginning of the meeting, 11/2/28/2. As we were going through this with the change and what we needed to do, we found one place in the ordinance that it used to say an application for a change or addition to the present zoning district as shown on the official map may be filed with the planning department. Well, because of the state law, it can't be filed with the planning department. The law states it's the Lawrence County auditor now, so we're just updating it to that wording. And then we took care of it by saying that I could accept that.
Should that say Lawrence County auditor or appointee, or what was the word you said? Was that what you said?
Or planning director.
I don't-
Or appointee? or-
Yeah, I don't think it has to.
So I think the law requires that change of zoning petitions or applications be filed with the auditor. It's then who then passes the information on to the planning commission and to the county commission. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So that's all you're doing is designating the director of
I'm
the
just
planning and
going through the
zoning
process.
to be the pass through.
Yeah, so how we updated it, so everybody knows is, we have an online system for change of zonings. So now what happens is when someone submits that change of zoning application, I get a copy and the auditor gets a copy.
Okay.
So we meet the state law by making sure they get a copy of it.
Yep.
So that's how we're doing it. So it's still getting submitted per se to the auditor, but then she's just saying, okay, Amber, you go ahead and take it through your regular process.
But in this section, it needs to just say Lawrence County
Yes.
auditor. Okay.
So it's just the legislature creating another step for us again.
I think it was Senator Diver, as I remember.
Yeah. Did you sponsor that?
So we had 2 areas. It's under change of zoning because that's what it's specifically related to. It's the general section and then also in the application. It said it had to go to the planning department. We're changing it to the Lawrence County auditor. So we fixed it in the 2 places that it had the wording.
Can we send a bill to the state for having to fix their stuff and say, do their?
I think sometimes it's really hard, and I know what their purpose is. In many counties, they don't have a planning department. They have an auditor or they have an EQ office that acts as their planning department. So I'm assuming that's whatever county asked for this to get fixed, that's probably why.
Is it Turner County, Parker,
I think it was Turner. He's not gonna say anything, but I think that's ultimately why, is because a lot of places don't have a separate department. It goes through either their auditors or their EQ.
All right. Anybody have any questions about that before we set a public hearing? All right, public hearing will be on September 3rd, 2026. All right, item number 7, discussion item for review proposed ordinance changes list from January.
Yep, so every January, I usually bring you a list of things that have happened over the last year of things that we needed to update. So I usually try to do an update-ish around now, so end of the summer's coming, we start working on next budget cycle. What do I need to look at? I wanted to give you guys an update of where we're at with the list that we prepared back in January. So the first item was to amend the zoning districts to include the text after the CUP regarding the classification of unlisted uses. I put a note in here that said the board did not agree with adding that use, so I just dropped it. I'm not gonna move forward with it at this time. I still like the idea of it, but it just, if that's not what the commission wants, then that's not what I'm gonna go through with. I will tell you that I've had 2 situations in the last week that it would have been very helpful to have that language, but one of them being the church situation that we just dealt with, the church and school situation. You will see a discussion on August 25th. That'll probably tie back to this a little bit for the commissioners. Political signage, that was on our list back in January. And so I just gave a note here, drafted 2026-02. It's still in the process. It hasn't been approved yet. And then based on SB 91, do we need to change any language? Well, that's the one that we just did, the 2026-04. And then the definition of the structure, obviously that was a new one, 2026-03. Data centers, solar operations, towers. Remember, we've kind of been watching those. There was a bunch of different, state laws that came through. At this time, when I talked to everybody about it, we said, well, let's kind of wait and see what happens because there was no state laws in place. We didn't really know. I think we just keep watching it. So in the end of August, I go to South Dakota Planning Association in Sioux Falls, and it sounds like we have a speaker there that's going to talk about some of this stuff. So it might give me a little better idea of, what other entities are doing for ordinances. I don't know at this point.
I think we should keep that on the list.
Well, it'll come off the 2026 list, and
Yeah.
then when I do the
For
2027 list, we would put it back on.
Okay,
But I think for now, there won't be anything coming forward for the rest of this year.
for the next 4 months.
Yep.
Okay.
Just because I try not to, that's a big one that I
It
don't
is.
think we want to be like, because state law is changing and all the stuff. And then I've had this on there for quite a while. It's the administrative change of zoning process with the new zoning map. It was not budgeted for 2026. I don't feel like I can really, it is time to do a new zoning map. The last one was 2015. I don't know the date on that. It's covered up 2015, I think. We usually try to redo the zoning map every 5-ish years. We're way over that. But I don't think it makes sense to do the zoning map unless we're going to do a future land use map. That's kind of, and it didn't go into budget for 2026 again. So I would probably add it just like I have every year for the past, I don't know how many years, I'll add it to the 2027 list. It does still need to get done. It's just a matter of when we have the money available to do it.
2028.
2028 now, yeah.
Do we do some look at some administrative changes of zoning, just cleaning things up that are obvious, they're wrong at that, prior to that? I don't know. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
I have a list of parcels that should be updated. I think without having a clear view of what you want in the future in different locations, it doesn't make sense because then you're just playing catch up for stuff. We're already dealing with lots being non-compliant. That's just part of,
Sure.
As growth occurs
Sure,
and
understand.
whatever. So I think it's one of those things. Yes, we can update it, but I don't know if it's really helping us when we don't really know what the grand, like what do you want to see in the future for different areas of the county? Because I think there's areas of the county that maybe is going to see future commercial development that is currently zoned residential, but maybe they're operating, a conditional use permit or have some sort of commercial type business on it. But I can't just go in and say that should be commercial because I have nothing to base it on. Does that make sense? Because there's not a future land use map. I don't have that. So, I can always do it. It's a budgeting issue. Change of zoning, when you do a large readoption of a map, I looked back, it was quite a few years ago that we've done it. But in 2005, when we did the big one, that was when Brandon Flanagan was still here. At that time, it was about $3,000 to do a full, because you have to literally send out mailings to people and then you put it in the paper. And it's a lengthy process. I just don't know if it makes sense to do it though if we don't have a plan in place. It's operating fine as it is. It's just there are some areas that need to be cleaned up.
I'm all for cleaning everything up. I think we could look at that just kind of on an individual, maybe work group basis type of thing, but the future land use map is so up in the air to me, that can change with everybody. So it's really hard for me to say, okay, these 6 people are going to think, well, this may be what they want, but that can all change so quick. I think it's kind of a waste of money, honestly. I get it. I understand why everybody wants it, But I,
And I guess that's kind of why I'm looking at, so normally what I would do, we're getting to the end of August. I'm going into the, we have a couple months of winter. Are there any small things that we can work on in a 4-month time period without getting into the next budget cycle? And my budget was approved for the most part. I haven't heard too much about it for 2027, but I didn't have much of these changes, budgeted for 2027. So like that one particularly, it's probably $3,000 to $5,000. I'm guessing mailings are more expensive now. Like it's about $10 a mailing. So I didn't really budget anything for that. So that would probably move to like a 2028 schedule, I think, just because of the costs associated with it. I don't really have anything for the 2027 list per se. So that's part of why I have you start thinking about this now, and then in January of 2027, we'll make that laundry list again. Is there anything that we see that we need to be looking at or reviewing? And then usually when I come back from the August South Dakota Planning Association, I have a general idea of like hot topics, like things that are happening, or do our ordinances work? Do they not work? Do we need to do something? So, I mean, we've done pretty good. We've gotten through most of what was on our list. So that's it. It's just kind of an update, or if there's anything that you guys feel that we've missed or that we need to do in the next 4 months. That's it.
Data centers are interesting. I was at a presentation about data centers on Monday for Butte Electric, and the presenter said that if it wasn't for people complaining about data centers on social media, we probably wouldn't need as many data centers.
Yeah, and I will come back with an update after. I mean, I think I'll have hopefully some good information after that meeting in August to talk about what's going on in other areas. So, okay, I don't really need anything. It's just to give you guys an update. I usually try to do that now.
Perfect.
thank you.
Okay. The August 2026 read report.
Nope,
Oh,
go
we missed
backwards.
something.
You got 2 things. The First Amendment and the master plan.
Oh, yep. That's all for number 7.
Skip that.
It's all review of master plan
Okay,
amendment.
I see. Yeah, sorry. I thought we were done with that whole section.
Been paid by the hour.
Okay. Review of master plan amendment and development.
All right, we're gonna see already. This document has not been my friend. Just so you know.
No, it's separate. Oh, anyway, it
It is
doesn't
all
matter.
a discussion item.
Okay.
All under
Got it.
discussion. Okay.
Before you get into this, I just did a couple things on the data centers while you're getting there. I've got a draft legislation that's classifying the data centers, different types, because right now they're tying it to power usage. And if you restrict those, you're gonna restrict the ventilation at the lab. That it meets that type of data demand, and so does a sawmill. So we can't just tie it to power usage on restrictions. So I'm working on, I just got the draft emailed to me as I was sitting out there. Different classifications of data centers. I haven't read what they come up with. Good plan. That'll give you something to reflect on in your ordinance if you get them classified and say this type we wouldn't allow, or this type would go in this type of zone.
Yeah.
In the International Legislative Forum, Fargo, in September is all about data centers too.
We should, Corey Hammerbeck at Rushmore Electric? Yeah. So Basin Electric has a large load schedule, and we should make sure that all kind of ties
Yeah, I'll get together
together.
with both of them.
Yeah, perfect.
You ready?
Sure.
Okay. So if you remember, you guys approved a change of zoning on Deer Mountain Village last month. Yes, last month. It has had a first reading and public hearing at County Commission, and then it goes to a second reading August 25th. Is that right? Yeah, August 25th. Second reading August 25th. As part of a change of zoning, the next step, and usually just your county commissioners will review this, but we had it prepared. Randy asked for a recommendation from you guys as well, because this will go forward to county commission on the 25th. And this is a piece of that planned unit development change of zoning, is you have to have your master plan and your final development agreement, because they're actually going forward. But these are both amendments because Deer Mountain Village already has all of that. So if you kind of keep that in mind, we added that 50-ish acres, 61 acres. So this is the portion bringing all of that into compliance with the rest of their initial master plan and their amendment to the development agreement. That's kind of the quick of it. It's just process. We have those processes to go through with these. This is a very large document, so bear with me. It does go through here. This one, I was able to download it, but I know people had problems because you have to download it to your computer to open because it's just such a large document because of all the maps. It was not in your packet. It was emailed to you, but it wasn't printed because it is 140 pages. So it's sitting right there.
240 pages.
It's a lot. It's right down there. And really what it was is because there were so many maps attached. The maps really bogged it down.
Memorized
The last one with this one, that's why it says amended, so we can keep track of this was the original, here's an amendment, it kind of goes down. And you can see in this one, when Randy redid this, I asked him to keep it redline, so that way you can see the changes, like what was existing, what was changing. And then the maps in there. So there really wasn't much for changes other than adding that 61 acres, into the rest of the development. So we're consistent with making sure all that acreage is under the same development standards. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Go for it.
If I may, did you give them the letter of transmittal?
They did get both of them, yes.
That introduction is kind of a executive summary, but in the document itself, the changes are in the first 11 pages, and then it skips clear up to page 84. And there's a new set of plans in there for the road and water for this piece. That's the changes. The rest of it is part of the existing agreement. So there's only about 35 pages of changes. And 11 of them are existing pages. So you've got a total of 14 new pages. So if you go to the document, you go to page 11, if you can do that. The first 10 pages are the narrative changes. 11 is a change in the map. I even compressed this as much as I could in a PDF that was sent out. But if it would help Amber before the commission meeting, I could send those 11 pages and then the other ones separately so they can just see.
It's a red line copy, so you can see what the changes are when you open the document.
Brad's map better, it's bigger.
Yeah, well, this is bigger. She just printed it at 8.5 by 11. It's
It would not let us print. It was a struggle.
Yeah, your printer doesn't have enough
water.
QL.
Did you drop it?
This is the add-on portion of
I don't, I was gonna say, that's where I'm at.
It's up here.
I thought it was in there, but I don't see it.
This is the one we talked about where you just wanted to make sure that this was kind of a companion piece to what was going on otherwise, but had never been sort of called out. And
while she's bringing
on its own.
Bring that up, next meeting, we're gonna have the preliminary and final plat
Yeah.
coming in. So it's going boom, 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 boom. So having you see this, we're preparing you for that.
So you're redrawing all these lots now to include the increased acreage, is that correct?
We're just adding the increased acreage to it in the master.
But you're not changing the lot, but you're
Not changing any other lots in the master.
So you didn't have 187 lots down here before?
We had more. And we did update it to what the lots are platted now. Some of them, 3 of them combined into one. So I'll go through.
We had what, 300 lots or something at one time where you're missing whatever they were.
There was 448 or 480.
I thought it was 489.
In
for the
Mystic
original
Minor.
lots.
And then in that PUD, and then they were going to put in a wastewater treatment facility, and they were trying to put in a water system. So Keating's purchased an additional 120 acres, 20 acres, and added it to the Mystic Minor property. So they increased it by 120, and then they decreased the number of lots to 220. 230, something like that. I don't remember the exact number. And now they brought in another 61 acres, and they're platting that into a lot, a certain number of lots, like 22. But they only can plat they only have 200 water taps. And 13 of them are dedicated to the clubhouse area. They anticipate that it'll take 10, but they have 3 in reserve until they understand the actual usage down. So even though the master plan shows now, let's say 250 lots, they can only plat 187 currently. So either the lots get bigger or the green space gets bigger, or some of them never go to final plat.
Just do some off the grid lots and have all their own water.
Not allowed under the planned unit development because we have to have fire protection, which we're offering at 1,200 gallons a minute.
Isn't it true the master plan has been amended, but this is the companion piece to that. This is the development agreement. For
No,
additional
no,
acreage.
this
Right
is
now
the
we're
amendment of
talking
the
about
master
the
plan.
amendment to the master plan.
There are 2 parts to this.
Yes, the
Yeah, so
second part is the amended
It's
development.
hard to do the amendment of the development agreement until you have the master plan amended.
We're trying to make sure that they're both called out specifically, so you're considering them separately. They don't kind of get rolled together. Is that kind of the discussion that we had?
Yeah, right now we're just looking at the master plan revisions. So you can see the red line copy here. I don't see the short one. I can't find it right now, but this is why we put this in there. So it's very specific. So you can see what the changes are to the amended master
So the
plan.
strike throughs are being removed and the reds are being inserted, just to give you a process. So if you go down, keep going. So you can see there's not a lot of changes in some of it, but keep going. That must be the next sheet. So this is,
Yeah, if
this
we
is-
can get it to load.
it won't load.
We've been having problems. It will. It just takes a very long time.
I guess I have a different computer than you do.
Yeah.
We need to print it 9 pages at a time.
But regardless, what it showed, if I can see this, it showed the change in the change in the lots throughout. Some of them we got like 28R, which combined 3 lots. 55R combined 2 lots. There was 5 other lots that were combined in 2 lots. And then we added lot 2A, 4, 5, and 6. And so they're on here. So we updated all the lots to what has been submitted through all the preliminary plats that are pending or active.
Wasn't that at the last meeting or the meeting before we voted on all those lot revisions?
And then we added this piece right up here is the 61 acres. And part of the process in the rezone is show the maximum density. And so that's what I've done. So I've represented the maximum density on here. The key components are, there's no exceptions on here for acreage for septic systems. These are all 2-acre lots or larger. So we don't have to go into the development agreement and address that exception. So that's probably the significant change. The water system is designed, schematics are in this. There you go. 61 acres is right up top, right up here. Yep, right there.
That's
So-
the change of zoning that was approved last month
Right.
by this board.
And so in the change of zoning, we submitted the road plans and the water schematics, and the water plans are just about finished. The final ones, and they'll be for the planning process. So that's where we're at. And so this document reflects adding that in and any loose ends we had out, basically. And if you can go to page 84. I think it's 84 or 85. Yeah. This is the new utility, new improvements. So this shows the new layout. And then go down a couple. Shows the road designs. The cross sections are after the plan profile. And then it shows a schematic of the water. And you'll see this again with the preliminary plat. I followed what was in the earlier submittal, which was all these plans, plus the statistics and the drainage analysis. I didn't do that because there's like 30 pages that nobody reads. So, and then the rest stayed the same. So that's where the changes are. And so what I did is when I edited an appendix, I made it red so you knew that had been changed. Otherwise, they hadn't been changed.
So we would be looking for a recommendation of the master plan revisions to just go, like I said, it's scheduled for county commission. So we'd like to have that before it goes in front of the county commission. They're getting the same information.
Anything else on that?
Not on the master plan. And then the second document is the final development agreement, which again is part of the process. This would get signed by everybody at the next meeting. Well, county commission.
And this was prepared by the attorney for Bruce to review and compare. But basically it incorporates these new lots into it.
Was this the subdivision that we talked about how we were, no, that was Deer Mount or Powderhouse Pass. How we were gonna quantify multifamily housing.
Yeah, that wasn't this one. That was,
So, I just thought of that. If you're gonna put in, I don't know, 8-unit apartment, is that a fair example? Is that considered to be 8 sort of residential units or 8 development units or?
with this one,
If you
we have
look at the
water
amendment,
taps.
there was, on the first master plan, it talked about townhouses, multifamily,
Did it? Okay.
and that's been removed under this amendment.
Yeah.
So if we did that, we would have to come back with the development plan within block A1, which is where the clubhouse is. We'd have to get that approved, and we would have to work with the water, with Deer Mountain Sanitary District to make sure we have the taps to support that. And if it took 7 taps and we could not move forward with 7 more lots.
I think, so we kind of caught up how we already done that.
Yeah, because the difference is these guys already had a pre-existing water agreement and what they have for taps is what they have. How they choose to use those taps, I guess it wouldn't
I
matter.
would
It's
guess you're
just,
not gonna forfeit some of those lots to put in an apartment.
Right now, probably not. Now, it is possible that we could add a 3rd tank and get more water, but we'd have to come back through this whole process to do that, to go outside that 200 taps. Okay, so that's what gives the county a front row seat, is the restriction on water.
Yep.
Mr. Chair. I think this is all taken care of, it's sort of baked in, but I don't know if there's any commercial proposed, but not all commercial is created equally either, right? And, so we went through that with Powderhouse Pass about how we would classify, what was an example, a coffee shop versus something else that had a higher use of water.
car wash.
But in this case, I think it's gonna be taken care of because of the limitation on the water
Well, not only
availability.
that, the development plan that was approved by this board only showed the clubhouse.
I can't
So we'd
remember.
have to come in with a revised or a new.
Of
development.
any other commercial
And
development.
it has a
Have any
pool
slots.
on the hot tub, that's why it has the water usage it has.
Yeah.
And so that development plan was approved here. To do anything else commercially, the way I understand it, we'd have to get a new development plan. But it is spoke about in the master plan.
I didn't remember if there's ever any commercial activity plan for this. It's been so long ago.
It speculated on the narrative with the first master.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, anything else about that?
I don't know, the only question I have, Bruce, have you looked at it, or do you have a document?
I've just,
It's under the commission.
Perused it. It looks good from what I've seen so far. Those are some of the questions that I had. I think it's okay.
Now should we do the review?
No, you need to make a motion on both of these items.
Oh, I thought they were just discussion.
You need to make a recommendation, so you would make a motion to recommend approval of the documents to go forward to county commission, if
Okay.
you choose to.
So move.
I'll second that.
Both
Discussion?
Is that both documents?
Yes.
Or are we doing separate? Bruce, what would you prefer?
It's all right.
Okay.
Efficient. Okay, any further discussion?
Angle here.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you
Now
for
you
your
can do
time.
the weed report.
Okay, here's the weed report for information. We need a motion.
No, you just look at it and make sure you're okay with the weed report.
Everybody good with the weed?
Move to approve the weed report.
Don't need a motion.
It appears like
Do we have a recess?
the system's
Yeah.
working.
I do.
I like them too.
Yep,
And I think it helps. We
okay, we've had a request for, we'll do that quick. Yep.
If you need a break.
What, is he saying, oh, break,
Break.
break, I'll never turn down a break.
No.
Okay, go here and we turn this.
It's like a good fact.
Okay. We are back online.
Okay, so we're on item number 8. Okay,
Yes.
for preliminary and final plat
Jerry,
for
Mike.
Jerry.
This is a lot line revision. So, you can kind of see the parcel right here. There's structure here, pond here. She just wants to combine the two into one lot. It was 2 lots, wants to combine into 1 lot. Really nothing new, it's just a lot line revision.
Motion that's exempt.
Second.
Discussion on the exemption. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries for exemption. Now for the final and preliminary. or
Move
preliminary
to
and final.
approve the preliminary and final plat.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. That's good.
We have a lot of plats, but they were pretty, like, just kind of fixing.
Clean.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't too
For
crazy.
9, preliminary and final plat for Spoon Wars.
This is out in Dead Broke. This is a lot line change, so here's the old lot line, kind of right in here. And they're adding this little tiny piece from this lot to this lot because they want to build something and they couldn't meet the setback.
Perfect.
So they worked together to figure it out. He is here. Oh, is that fair?
Yeah.
Work together to figure it out.
Yeah.
I love it.
You can sleep good tonight, knowing you won't have to worry about that variance coming in.
So we have, it is exempt from a fire plan because they just moved the lot line, so we need an exemption and then approval of a preliminary and a final.
Okay, regarding the exemption, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries for exemption and on the plats.
Move to approve preliminary plan.
Second.
Okay, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So this will go to county commission next Tuesday.
I don't have to be.
That is always up to you. I never say if you have to or not, but if they have a question and you're not there, then they may not do anything with it. So your choice.
The world's run by those who show up.
Yep.
Right.
All right, 39. So we're on.
Wow, that was deep.
That kind of was. And he was here very early.
Okay. Number 10.
No, number
Preliminary and
9.
We just
No.
did number 9.
Oh, we did 10. You're right, never mind.
Okay, preliminary and final plat for Linsky.
Okay.
And this one, we also need to do exemption or not, and then approval and denial of the plats.
Lauren, you might have to help me with this one a little bit, maybe. So this one, they are, grab this just a second. The owner is wishing to combine both of the lots, 2 lots into one. They're filing to vacate the 2 small portions of the existing public right-of-way and then dedicating where the actual right-of-way is located. So, you know, how it normally happens, road gets built, but it doesn't get built in the location that the earlier right-of-way showed. So that's what they're trying to fix with this. There is an active road district, so the road district will have to sign the plat. And they may have already been in, I'm not sure on that one. And then the road district is aware of the vacation and the rededication of the right of way. But I'm still struggling with this one a little bit because if it's vacated public right of way, have they already gone through?
25th.
Okay, so then you would probably want to do a recommendation of approval with the condition, because it goes in front of you guys for the vacation, but this is matching up so you can see it, so you can see what's happening. Does that make sense? But you haven't actually vacated it, yet.
So if we were to make a motion to approve, we would want to include that.
You would want to include that it doesn't
Contingent
subject
that
to
vacation
the
gets approved.
vacation document getting approved by the county commission.
Everybody understand that part?
Is that right, Lauren?
Right.
Does that sound
Yeah.
right?
Kind of work it all at the same time.
September 25th at 8.
August
Or
25th.
August, yeah,
Yeah.
at 8:25.
So this particular one, I would almost recommend, instead of it going to county commission next Tuesday, I would pull this one off and have it wait till the 25th, because then that way you have the vacation and the plat on the same agenda. I think is what I would do, just so that they're together.
I just had a thought, Bruce, we normally do the exemption before we approve or deny the plat. Should we do that the opposite direction? Or are we doing it the right way?
I think it's okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Alright, no, thank you though. I'm just double checking. Yeah, it is the 25th
It's the 25th.
at 8:25.
And then I did notice that the plat you would have to update the Mylar anyways, because we have to be able to write in the vacation document number.
Oh, there isn't a line right in there?
There isn't a line on here, no.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just need to add the little
Okay,
line.
okay, no problem.
So we had a 66-foot right of way.
Yep.
That we didn't utilize all of it. Did we extend the 66-foot right of way to the north?
Well,
No,
it's being replatted with the actual road, yeah.
It is. Okay, that's.
yeah, so the road is already in place and it's a 66, they're utilizing a 66-foot right of way. It's just not in the right place.
Yeah, we're just keeping it consistent.
John Manson might have built the road.
Okay. So should we deal with the exemption?
Move that is exempt.
Second.
All in discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, exemption is approved. And now the plats. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, entertain a motion.
I move to approve the plat with the contingency that the county commission approves the variance on or the vacation on the
Vacation.
25th.
We're
Okay.
vacating the 25th.
Something like that.
We got it.
You know what I mean.
No, not yet. They have
I
not
don't think we
seconded
can
it.
do that. That's
Okay,
beyond
we have
our.
a second. Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Richard's thinking used to say, hey, clean that up.
And then Lauren, so you heard me that I'm gonna pull that plat from next Tuesday and we'll add it to the 25th.
Makes sense.
Sorry, did I need to make that part of the motion?
Nope. We can just do it.
Amy did say there is a line in the notes section, the Register of Deeds does not want it on.
Oh, that's fine then, as long as it's where she wants it. So maybe you don't need to. She said you put it down below.
Oh, yeah.
So it's okay.
Okay. We're good. then?
Okay. Next one, 40.
Okay, number 12.
Oh.
Or no,
Think you're on
yeah,
11.
11, yeah.
So this one is just a final plat within Wilderness Estates, which we have not seen a plat in Wilderness Estates for a while. They are, this one, they are combining two lots into one. So Wilderness Estates is the original subdivision before Powder House Pass existed. So Wilderness Estates is actually inside Powder House Pass. So these are old, I mean, 2004, 5 lots. But you can see there's a house and a blank lot and this guy lot. And they're combining it all into one. So they have a yard, I guess.
And since there's currently a fire plan in place, we don't need to deal with an exemption, correct?
Correct.
So it's just the preliminary and final plans.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now 12.
Next one. This is within Powder House Pass again, and these are existing lots within the subdivision that they are just platting out. You can see Trent Walters did do an update for you like he normally does when a plat goes through. It's consistent with the approved preliminary plat that was already in place.
Is it consistent or identical?
It's consistent because sometimes they're not going to be exactly identical to a preliminary, but they're going to be close. Auburn Acres is where this one is. It's identified as phase 4 of Powder House Pass development. And it is already included within the memorandum of agreement and letter of credit that are in effect. Fire plan was already submitted. Everything else is in.
Okay. And this is just the final plat, so that's all we need.
Make a motion to approve the final plan.
Thank you. Your second?
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, number 13, preliminary and final plat for Spirit of the Hills Wildlife Sanctuary.
All right, so this one, we do have, so this is one of those that we've been trying to do this along, you know, any of those major roads, Brownsville, Tinton, anywhere. If there was not platted right of way, because there was an old road in there, we're asking them to plat it so that it actually designates the right of way. The highway superintendent started requesting that quite a few years ago. So that is being done on this one. Plus they're breaking out a tract that is going to be transferred from Spirit of the Hills Wildlife Sanctuary to Michael Chins. I can never spell his or say his last name. How do you say it? Chinsky. Chinsky.
He's still around.
He is. He is now a U.S. citizen. I found that out in my phone call conversation. He was super excited about it. So he is breaking out that from the wildlife sanctuary. It's not this piece over here, so ignore that because everybody keeps thinking it's that. It's over here. This is a preliminary plat. It's right on the corner, so you have McGuigan Road, North Tinton, right on that kind of messy corner there. It's 5 acres. There's a power line that runs through it. There's going to be setbacks, all of that fun stuff. And the Tinton Road is being shown on here. They're telling you exactly what the acreage is. 1.349 is dedicated public right of way now. And I did have a chance to talk to John Bay about it. He just kind of asked what the intent was. I have no idea. Mike can sell it. Who knows? I've had a couple of people that are obviously aware that it's being platted off, that have some interest in purchasing it. There is no existing entry point. They don't have to show us, but we did make sure that he knew before you can put a driveway in, you have to go through the process with John. John did go ahead and sign it because he would have to give access, but they have not submitted anything yet because there's no house on it. There's no structure. There's nothing there right now.
Being on a curve like that, he's okay with some point on that lot having access to the road.
He signed the plat, so I'm assuming that means that he is, like he already signed it. It's in our office and it's signed, so. And we talked about it. He actually kind of liked the idea of it possibly being down here to marry up where it comes across the road there.
So why there?
You know, so that it's coming to the point of
Yep.
2 intersections versus having it maybe further down the road, but. Or maybe a shared driveway if there needed to be one somewhere else.
Okay.
They did do a fire plan. There's not much out there to keep it going.
All right, so on this one, all we need is to approve or deny the preliminary and final plat. Any other questions? Motions?
Is Park Forest up there?
Move to approve the preliminary and final plat.
Second. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, number 14, preliminary and final plat for John and Thomas.
Lot line revision, lot 3 is getting 0.36 more acres from lot 2. Zone Park Forest needs setback, fire plan exemption for a lot line revision. This is in the Timbers subdivision, so existing subdivision. You can see that little tiny, here's the little triangle. That is what is moving.
Okay.
I'm betting it has something to do with the structure. Just, you know,
Yeah, I think.
Perfect.
just a thought.
Okay, should we deal with the exemption?
There should be a fire plan.
Move to exempt.
Second. There is a fair plan, or do we need to make it exempt?
I think we should do exempt because the Timbers was under that weird.
Okay.
Remember where we just got like the random letter?
Just to make sure.
We didn't have an actual fire plan in place like the ones now.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
Move to approve the preliminary and final plat.
Thank you. For a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Items from planning and zoning board members.
I may not be at the next meeting. My daughter's getting married on the 4th. I'm sure being on the 3rd, there will be some kind of stuff going on. Just as a heads up, I probably won't be here.
Where are your priorities here?
Yeah, what's your involvement?
You know, I kind of like to sleep in my own bed.
Be a man about it. Yeah, come on.
Just so you
Just send your checkbook.
She's already got that.
No, very good. Okay, anybody else? Okay, opportunity for public comment.
We haven't had public for quite a while. Brad, you got to say something?
Well, I can take some time if you want. Expand on some things. The future plans and, you know, ETJ interact with that.
Hey, we're working on that.
The meeting is getting today, and I heard from a city person, maybe we should just get rid of the ETJ.
I know. It,
Interesting.
the last, when I get back from STPA.
Yeah, I think.
Because the rally's in there and then I'm gonna be gone and city staff is going to South Dakota Planners Association, so we decided we need to get back.
I'm really surprised at Wilchinski's property.
Yeah, it's on, just
Add
on,
them to this
just,
bigger pile.
yep, just a little bit that way. That was the boundary line. I have one thing. I can't remember if I told you, I don't know if I did. I leave August 14th. I won't be back till the 21st. And then I'm in the office for 2 days and then I'll go down to STPA in Sioux Falls. I will have my computer with me. I'll still work from those two places. I'm taking Jasa down to Arizona for college, so I'm gonna be down there for a week before I go to STPA. So just FYI, but I will have my phone. I'll have everything with me. If you guys need anything. So that's it. And this one is any day. So we're just kind of day to day to see what happens if she's at her desk.
I know which day it is, so don't worry about
If I have it my way, it's Sunday.
it.
This week preferably is what she wants, but
Like tomorrow.
we told her she has to wait till after the rally. I don't know if it's gonna happen. She doesn't think it's going to. So just as an FYI, I mean, I will be, it is going to be, I mean, Jesse does a lot for our office. I will tell you, like, this week alone, I think we have been, I can't even tell you, we are all four on the phone at the same time, pretty much all day long. I don't know what, it's been the weirdest month. It's super weird. I don't know what's going on. But without her gone, there are gonna be some times that I might have to close the office. We're gonna try not to, but with Jeff being pretty much out all day long, I still have to get lunches in and different things or doctor's appointments or whatever comes up, you know how that happens. If we have to close, it'll just be for a short amount of time. And then we do have a really good working relationship with the EQ office. Like if something comes up and one of us has to sneak out, we'll put a note on the door and then Nicole helps us with stuff. So she's been really good to work with. And
I feel like if somebody can leave a message to call you, whatever.
yeah, we always get back to everybody by the end of the night. So it's just kind of, it has been just nuts in our office. I don't know what is going on.
It was a little bit slow for a while, so.
It was, and then our timing is really off. Because usually like rally, we don't have, usually it's like nobody's up here, but it's been busy. It's weird.
Mostly phone calls.
Yeah, mostly phone, not people coming in. It's just constant phone calls.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's going on there.
All right, next meeting Thursday, September 3rd, 2026 at 1:30 PM.
We're at.
Same spot.
All right,